بنورها بينا من مكة حبيبي نور محمد نبينا بنور حبينا من مكة حبيبي نور سطع المدينة من صلى صلاته يدخل الشفاة يا بدل بدل ما سفال في مماته صلي على محمد السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله السلام عليك يا رسول الله يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله صلي على النبي وتبسم ده النبي تبسم وتبسم ده النبي تبسم اللهم صل عليه قلب المتهي يقول ما صلى عليك وسلم ذاك السعادة مكرما يا سيدي يا وإثرها يبكى إذا مست أيادي الله الله وكف المصطفى हदों को मिटा ले आजा खालीपन में पीका घर तेरा तेरे बिन खाली आजा कालीपन में तेरे बिन खाली आजा कालीपन में Regresa, 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 oh, regresa. Kun faya kun faya kun faya kun faya kun faya kun faya kun. जब कहीं पे कुछ नहीं बे नहीं था वही था वही था वही था वही था वो जो मुझ में समाया वो जो तुझ में समाया बोला वही वही माया वो जो मुझ में समाया वो जो तुझ में समाया बोला वही वही माया कुन फाया कुन कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया कुन फाया रंग रे सारंग तेरा तन मेरा मन, ले ले रंगाए चाहे तन चाहे मन। रंग रे सारंग तेरा तन मेरा मन, ले ले रंगाए चाहे तन चाहे मन।
सजरा सवेरा मेरा धन भर से, गजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती लू। सजरा सवेरा मेरा धन भर से, गजरा अंधेरा तेरी जलती लू। खतरा मिलन तेरे सर भर से।
ओ मौला मौला कुन फाया कुन, 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 फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन, कुन फाया कुन, फाया कुन, सदकल्लाह फाया कुन, फाया कुन, कुन फाया कुन, कुन फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन, फाया कुन। सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you've been enjoying this journey of the Ramadan Summit so far. And thank you so much for joining us and for supporting us and for showing us the love as well. I'm Alina Zaman, and I will be a moderator for today. So the Ramadan Summit is the final part of the Design Post-COVID Humanity Program, which is based on the three virtues, Taruf, Ta'awun, and Tarahum. DPCH is under the umbrella of Maker Majlis, which is an initiative organized by the College of Islamic Studies at Hamad bin Khalifa University. And so far, we've had 26 amazing speakers who have given such inspirational talks on science, innovation, creativity, values, Islam, something that is important to them. And now to introduce our our 27th speaker for today, Ahmad Al Tamimi. Ahmad Al Tamimi is a mechanical engineering graduate from Texas A&M University at Qatar. He is an entrepreneur, a poet, an organization leader, and an advocate for Silatech. Over to you, Ahmad. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much, Alina, for introducing me. And before starting this talk, I would like to thank all the attendees and as well Dr. Talk and Bayan, as well Silatech for this opportunity. Can I share my screen? Yes. Alina, is it showing?
Yes.
Great. So I actually prefer to make it a casual talk more than a formal speech. In today's talk, I want to talk much about my family or their accomplishments or how I've been raised or what are the difficult stages that I witnessed in my life. Not specifically the TEDx style, but to be more precise, I want to rely on brains more than hearts. So let's start. Some may wonder why I chose this title, which is Built on Nothing. Well, although it's a very normal sentence, it seems very normal, but it's actually way more than this. It's the current and actual situation for almost all the youth just after their graduation. Let's have a general look. Did you think about how the future of youth will be after the pandemic, or if the pandemic lasts longer? Are the majority of people have the chance to work? Is everyone happy with his or her job? Let's be realistic. Nowadays, opportunity have become non-existent. Every year, thousands of people lose their jobs. Unemployment rates dramatically increase. Values started to disappear when it comes to working. Politics are not the only factor behind these results. Population, lack of needs to hiring people, as well technology development. All of these factors are reasons behind this results. When I graduated, many questions came to my mind. For instance, why I have to promote myself and send my CV to someone to judge me? Why I have to be a candidate and keep thinking, will I get the offer I want or not? Why there are something called CVs? Why only the ones who have connections guarantee the job despite eligibility? Why there are limits on salaries? Why did even someone ask about salary expectation? It's not a perfect question, in my opinion. Then now I figured out that someone, he needs to, instead of searching for the opportunity, he needs to create ones. Why we do not create ones instead of searching for opportunity? After that, I moved to the second question, from why to how. How I can differ from others, not only in a unique idea, but to make sure it is done the same way it was planned. Here, some of the stuff, as you can see, some of the stuff I was involved during my university. I can highlight several of them, being a goalkeeper for Texas A&M and Qatar Foundation in Greece, doing the mosque object after the crisis there, being in channels, or being the head of events in Qatari Student Association. As well, here, winner of the prayer rug design in 2017, being with Solitech in Geneva, and so forth. And being an actor as well. But all of that didn't make me enthusiastic to just follow the procedure and be in a job that I do not like to be in. This circles is very important to me. In my family, we have a role, which is to choose between two things, either being a doctor or being a doctor. But alhamdulillah, Allah chose for me to be a different field than my brothers and sisters. I'm an engineer. But after a couple of years, I discovered that I'm everything except mechanical engineer. I feel that mechanical engineering only gave me the tools to use it in implementing my ideas. But to be honest, I don't find myself working in a factory. This feeling raised many issues through the road when it comes to the employment, because I almost rejected 6 job offers only due to that I do not find myself in a factory. I have many friends as well share the same idea about that when they got hired in Qatar Gas, for example, or Qatar Petrol, or the other companies. They as well felt that this title is not suitable for them. And you have to know in that thing that titles doesn't identify the person. Titles could be changed. Here, the circles, the shared thing, we have to have a balance between them. The first circle, which is on the top, is money. It's very important to have a money, but as well to not take you out of the balance. The circle on the right is the job satisfaction. Am I happy with my job? Do I like it? Is it adding something to the community? The third one, the third circle on the left, it's the legacy, the impact you will leave after you leave the job. So if the circles started to move away and move farther from each other, then you will lose the balance, and you will only be a number in the company, and you will not add anything. Here I started to define where I should be, and it's a question for everyone. In which quarter are you in right now? Are you an employee with many responsibilities and just a fixed salary? Whatever you will add in this company, you will only be an employee. Are you a freelancer working on yourself, and as much as you work, as much as you will get? Are you an owner or a founder of a business that you can put all what you have in it? Or are you an investor that doesn't need to be in all these quarters, and you are supporting the other businesses? Here where it comes that you have to choose. The road is not easy, but one have to choose in which quarter he is fine with. Not in this, maybe in the current situation, maybe he have to think, or she has to think after 30 years, after 40 years, when having children, when being in a position that you can't return backward. I actually chose to not manipulate people, be a person who, be a person who has a prestigious job, and in his free time he acts as an influencer for people and encourages them to make a difference in their societies. I am not an innovator who does nothing to his innovation except hiring people to do his innovation. So I chose to reject more than offer and start from zero, just to reach to my goal and to my target, which is having my own business. And hopefully I will leave a legacy with that. As you know, here, we need to identify the deep meaning of the ultimate goal. After setting your goal, there must be an outcome that compensates your effort. Always think in the worst case scenario, the environment around you. As well, the audiences. Fill the empty side that people is looking for to have a positive outcome. It doesn't matter where are you, where your business is, what the situation there. Just you need to know your target audience. As well, ability to collaboration, agreements, B2B, B2C, and highlight one thing, that agreements are not fixed. People apologize become a very easy thing to say, and so that's why a second plan should be always on the shelf. And this will you will overcome the obstacles. Team, it's about credibility and reliability. Logical, not emotional. Understand each other is the key factor for achieving goals. Budget, although it's very important, but one shouldn't minimize his or her creativity depending on budgets. So I start to follow all these steps and talking to my brain and talk to myself, where should I be and what should I do? I chose to be different, learn from other mistakes, diagnose the other experiences, to not fall in the same mistakes, because it's a build-up process. If one doesn't have a unique idea, he could build up on previous ideas. As well, an open-minded, it doesn't mean that accepting all what they say, but it's to hearing them and analyze the right things. And at the end, do what you like. The best business is the one which is based on a hobby. And Allah didn't create only you. He created many humans who share the same interest with your ideas. Implementation, when it comes to that, try to make a rough schedule for everything and try to meet the deadlines, having a backup plans for technical issues, for last minute notes. Here, when I'm sitting with you, I have my 3 mobiles. In case anything, a technical issue, I will have my other plan. Nowadays, this is a very important picture to me. Nowadays, everyone needs, everything you need is in your screen. Everything you need is in your comfort zone. This will make me disagree with what Martin Luther King said, which is your comfort zone will kill you. Now our situation changed. Our comfort zone is our secret to succeed. This now I see it's the right thing to achieve the estimated goal. So why do I need to work from 7 a.m. to 5 a.m.? Why do I need to stick to my manager's deadlines? Why do I need to spend hours drinking coffee at work? Simply, I do not want to take a free money to do something which I do not like. A short story mention here. When I had one of the interviews in a very well-known company, and it was my dream company, I asked them, simple question, what's the daily work? And he said, you will not have to do much. You will only follow the procedure and drink tea. This answer, although he was so honest with me, once I left his office, I knew that I will not return. Allah on the Judgment Day, for sure, he will ask each human, where did he get the money and where did we spend it? And this is a very important question that many do not think in it and just think in a salary to feed their children or so. But we have to know and we have to trust God that even when you're starting your own businesses, even it's very hard at the beginning, but once you have a clear idea and a clear mindset, for sure you will reach your goals. Although money is important, but it's not everything, which I will refer it to what I showed you before, the circle with the 4 quarters. No, it's a build-up process. Nothing comes easy. You will face many challenges. And I will mention one of the stories that happened with me in just before the pandemic. We were about to have the first event that happened in QF in collaboration with QF, Solatech, HBKU, many other organizations and many other clubs like Al Duhail Club, like Power Gym. It's a charity event. It's a huge event, and even we invited Her Highness to that event. And just in one day before the pandemic, everything got cancelled. After all the work done for this event. But it doesn't mean that the life is stopped. Once we will back to the normal life, we will do it. And here we are. We didn't stop. This is very important thing. Time is the most precious gift from God, which we don't want to waste it. Here, the roadmap for successful businesses. I tried to summarize it: the situation, the audience, obstacles, ability, obstacles, team, and budget. This is very important picture to me in person, in my life. If my life were a book and I were the author, how would I want the story to go? First, write the story and the title. They will choose it for you. People will choose it for you, but it shouldn't come first. I'm only an example of a path that you can choose to take. As you know, you can draw the best picture with a normal pen. Do not ask the pen to be a diamond one. You can start from your own place. You can start from your comfort zone, and do not always search for wasting your time in searching for a job more than doing both stuff. If you want to be in a job, do search for only the jobs that you like, and you will leave an impact. Do not leave the balance, as well as work on your own company. And thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. That was very insightful and really, really, really amazing. And the way you, I mean, especially now during COVID, I think the youth needs to hear this, and how they should work towards a goal, and like with this kind of plan. And your life story, it seems so interesting how you said that the kind of family you come from, and right now how you're working, you just want to set up your own business. So my first question is, if you were to start a business, what would you like? What would it be on? Like, what would your business be about?
So currently I have 5 companies. I established 5 companies so far. Nowadays, before, let's start from before. Usually they say you need a 1 year to see whether your business is successful or not. Nowadays, you can know if your business is successful or not from the first month, whether people like it or not. So just be open mind to all the market. Is a very big market. I have an organization that I will change it to consultation in a few months. I have a retail business and other businesses. First, it's about the team. The first thing is to choose the right team, which could be 1, could be 2. It's the team is the most important thing, but not the team that when I said an innovator who is hiring people to do an innovation for him and he does nothing. No, you need to be very aware. Many CEOs doesn't have the power to even say a word. Because why? Because they are sharing they are co-founder or owner of a company with their friends, and they have to always ask them for any procedure they want to implement. So be aware of your business. Try to not be limited with your area. For now, we have, although I'm in Qatar, I have some businesses are outside, and the market is here. So this could be the advice to young businessman. I chose this topic not because it's my preferred topic, but I know the needs for that topic, because many come to Solitech or come to these organizations just to ask for a job, which is totally not the case nowadays.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much for this. And to follow up on what you just said, why would you say that we would know whether a business were to be successful or not just within the first month? I mean, isn't it the case like sometimes once businesses do start and, it takes time, and in the beginning they're going through loss, and then, gradually then they will start like maybe making profit, and like why did you say like within the first month? I just want to like
first of all, thank you so much for this question. When I disagree with Martin Luther King, it means that although he's so right in his in 70s or in 80s or 90s, but he's not. We can't follow what he said nowadays in 2021. Similar for businesses. Usually, businesses back in 90s or in 2000. There wasn't something called Instagram. There wasn't something called Facebook. There's nothing called online platform. These vast online things around us. Now, nobody, like, you do not need to pass through the shop to know it. Now you can sponsor it with one click in Instagram, and many people will see your store or see your place. So if you want to start the right business, you need to know the targeted audiences, and because time is money. And if we are starting from zero budget, and starting from zero budget doesn't mean actual zero, but a very limited amount, one needs to think before just losing time and sitting waiting for the income.
All right. Thank you. Now we will move on to the questions from the audience. So Khadija has asked how to choose the right business.
It's a good question as well. It's in choosing a business, after you set a goal for yourself. I do not want to be an employee. This is the first goal. I do not want to be an employee, either freelancer or owner or investor. After that, do the first thing that we mentioned there. It's the situation. Know the area that you are living in, the area around you. For example, if someone in the North Africa, for example, if someone in China, he will not sell abaya in China, or he will not sell thobe in China, because it's not their in their interest. You need to know the situation first. What's the right thing to implement, and then start to implement it. For example, in some of the countries, there is nothing called Alibaba. So it's hard to ship stuff from Alibaba and to sell it, because the shipping time and regulations are so hard. So my advice is to ask friends and see the needs. Ask the friends, and always, for example, when I sit in one of the ideas, I will tell you, it's not a very smart idea, but it's just to for the talk. When we were sitting in the pill before the pandemic, and one of my friends was taking shisha. It's not a perfect example. He's taking shisha, and he always called the waiter, please come to put the core, please come, and he take a lot of time doing that. So I said, why we do not just create a sensor with a light, and whenever we want to ask him to come and change the thing, just to press the sensor. This is a need that is being highlighted and analyzed. Similar way with everything. See where the needs. The chance to have a better business is in the countries that have a lack of financial situation, we can say.
I definitely agree with you on this, and even with me right now, like for instance, like here in Qatar, we don't have like one main platform which would show all of the different opportunities or activities related to kids. So I was kind of thinking, I was like, okay, someone needs to come up with like one app, and definitely where there's a need, something is lacking, then that would be the best business idea to work on. So I think we'll take a question from Tekang. Tekang, would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Sure, thank you very much. Hello, Ahmed. Nice one from you. Nice having you today. I'm probably sure this is the third sermon of today's, this week's session. I want to ask you probably these two questions. When it comes to the issue of motivational speakers and entrepreneurship and a lot more, some people tend to capitalize, or let me use the word bandwagon, on motivational speaking, in the sense that they move or call for gatherings with young people across the globe, particularly now on social media, claiming to be business entrepreneurs and advising them. And right behind, they don't have a single, they don't have a job of their own. They're not entrepreneurs, but they're just speaking to motivate people. There's a clear contrast between practice and probably theory. I don't know your thoughts about that. I want to get your thoughts about that, because that's something which is flourishing now, particularly on the African continent, or particularly in my university, my former university, milieu, where I come from. The second question is about the environment. And I'm pretty sure that not all environment in terms of the economics, sociocultural, politics, and a lot more can definitely be the same in all countries. The conditions in Qatar, the conditions in UAE, in Saudi Arabia, and the US probably quite different from that in Kenya. What should young people do in trying to manage the environment so that if they have to start a business with a little capital, they can easily flourish? Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for these questions. I will try to combine it in a way to not take longer, because it's a very complicated thing. But I will say in this in Solitech, it's working in more than 17 countries, and these countries have like we can say a not very safe environment, or it's not like a situation here so far. I hope, inshallah, it will be in a best situation in the soon future. For example, I will mention in Somalia. In Somalia, they have the sea. It's all in the like all their borders, the right borders. They have a sea, and they have a huge number of fishing. But people there doesn't like to eat fish, and doesn't like to use that resources for many point of views. So in Solitech, we tried to introduce them to their resources, to what they have there, do many courses and many consultation stuff there, just to make them use their resources instead of searching for a job outside Somalia, and it got succeeded. This is a very small example of that. But I said if I understand your question is about the entrepreneurs and this, I said that I do not want to manipulate people, even though we are very fortunate here in Qatar, and we have we can say the suitable situation. I chose myself to not have the job that I will just be a number and have a constant salary. I chose to be same situation like people in Kenya, in Syria, in Jordan, in all these places, because I want to leave a legacy when I leave this world, not only to have the food, eat, drink, sleep. So I chose to start from zero. When I say zero, it's really zero. I have my own money. I'm in a good situation, suitable situation, but all the money that I have, I didn't spend a single dollar from it. Only from the business. I want to experience that, and alhamdulillah, we are now we are establishing the 5th company. this is an example. In Kenya, it's regardless the place, Kenya, Somalia, China, Indonesia, the environment and the situation is I mean, in an entrepreneur's way of thinking, not in a way of thinking in politics and so far. I can tell you one of the stuff. I was an intern in BQ Solution. It's for defense in Qatar, and we have to we are responsible for modifications of vehicles and tanks and navy and so forth. That our best supplier was French and in UK. He told us that time in the exhibition that Arab world is the best people to sell them. Why? Because it's not safe place. And this thing created many job opportunities only because we are fighting with each other. It's not also a good example, but it means they use even that to sell their products. In Kenya, I don't know what's the situation, but for sure there are many stuff to do there without looking to other countries. There's something, you can have a team from outside the countries and you are in Kenya. So you can collaborate Kenya with Qatar, with a lot of countries in your comfort zone next to your screen. And this is what we are now in. You are in a different country and I'm in a different country. Hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you so much, Ahmed. Now, moving on to our next question. So Khadija is asking, you said, do what you like. What if your environment does not like what you do as a business?
For me in person, as an engineer, of course, one needs to search for a factory. And here in Qatar, we are fortunate that once you graduate, they will take you, they will hire you in one of the factories. But in my case, I refused that. I didn't want that. So it's not that, like, it's not, we can, if Muslim, it's not Quran, it's very fixed words. You can change with it, with the sentences. If you do not like what you are in, or you do not like the your situation, try to start your own businesses, even with name. For example, many people just start to give lectures. They give online lectures. They start to go build up their names, only names, and then they got the dream job they want, which is a consultant in one of the companies. So it's just the road you are taking. Either you start your own thing, even without any salary, without anything, just build up the name, and the name will take you to one of the to employment, or having the employment first, even if you do not like it. But even in Muslim, for example, when we travel outside Islamic countries, we have the right to eat a food if we are forced to. So if you are forced to having the salary, just make it, go to that, be that employee. But as soon as you can stand, flip it to what you want.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Thank you so much, Ahmed. I have another question for you. So do you think that COVID has played a role in creating more entrepreneurs? Because there have been an increase in job cuts. Like, I personally know of a lot of people, because they lost their job, so the second thing they thought of is, okay, let me just start a business.
Of course, as I said, employment rate dramatically increases due to population and the pandemic. Even the pandemic is over. Now the needs to hiring people is they do not want to hire more people. Now a company can stand with only one employee, just with collaborations. So instead of finding a job, you can collaborate. I have several examples, but it's not the perfect time to mention it. But collaborations, for example, instead of, I will give a case for a person, instead of wanting to be an employee in QSTP, for example, in a position that you do not maybe fit in, you will not leave a legacy, you will not leave an impact, you are just doing the daily work. We can say that instead of having that, do something that you like and do a collaboration with the QSTP instead of being under them. For example, having your own company, just post. I will give you one example. This is a proper example. One, he was an engineer in Dubai, and he graduated as an engineer, and he didn't find any job. He said, why I do not start from my Instagram? He likes to cook. He start to every day post something about food, post something to make food. Then now he's one of the most richest people there in his country. Why? Because, and he's an engineer, but he did the business that is based on a hobby. So for you specifically, like if there is a lack of finding a job, or for example, you have the job, but what's the next stage? What's the next stage in the job? Will I stay forever in that position or not? No, take this salary and put it in a hobby, put it in a something, then understand all the tools of a business. God will help you, but you need to think in the tools, how to implement it very well.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, God helps, but we need to do something ourselves as well. And I liked how you said that we can do something, and for instance, maybe do a collaboration with QSTP. And like, I mean, even like incubation centers like QSTP and Cubic and others as well, like they offer these amazing opportunities here that if you have a business idea, then, you know, you can start your startup with them. And like, you know, they would provide you with this support, or I mean, even if you then can collaborate with other people as well. So that was
example of that. So to interrupt, an example of that, do you know European Innovation Academy and the Arab Innovation Academy? That's
yes.
now QSTP. Instead of the mentors, we can say, instead of finding a job to be a mentor in QSTP, they did a collaboration with QSTP, and they start to give lectures and all the consultant things here with a huge collaboration.
Yeah, this, I mean, I think this is what we need to learn from. And I mean, if we want to do something, then definitely follow on these kind of footsteps. Okay, I just have one last question if anyone else doesn't have any other questions or comments. Okay, so you mentioned something about how we need to keep a balance between like money and our goals. So in your life, when was the time, because growing up, a lot of people in the beginning, they first think about, okay, you know, I want to just fill up my bank account. But in your life, when did you realize that you don't want to be money driven, you want to be like goals driven? When was that time in your life?
I started after graduation and during the pandemic. And when I saw the many organizations lost their job in a second, they lost their, only because of their theme. And many people suffer from that. Many organizations lost, they just lost everything. I start to think, I do not want to build up on something that it may not last forever, or I do not want that much of salary. This is I'm looking for more. I'm working as if I'm living forever, and as well I'm working that I will die tomorrow. This is the perfect sentence one needs to think. That work as if you are living forever, and as well that you are leave this world. So I read many stories. One of them is a story of Steve Jobs, that he has, like, when I look at him, I see that, okay, he has that much amount of money, which is a goal for almost all the world, but he doesn't have the other stuff. He didn't focus on family. He didn't focus on anything else. He only has employees that do not care in his health or in anything, just in his money. So I said, this is not my goal. The goal, if I can travel, if I can feed myself, if I can do what I want in Islamic way, because God will ask me where did I spend my money? This is the perfect condition of life. But now change to the legacy and the impact. But not, it's not saying that it's good to mention that مالك أين أنفقت. Yes, it's not about just leaving a legacy without any income and being in the street. No, money is so important, but the job title needs to have a link between that and the thing.
I think that was beautifully said. Thank you so much for this. I think now we can wrap up if anyone does not have any other questions or comments. Okay. Thank you so much, Ahmed. That was an incredible talk. We really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for being a part of our Ramadan Summit journey. And for everyone else, tomorrow we will be having the talk at 5 p.m. So don't forget to join us, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everyone. And if you have any other questions, I'm happy. You can reach me in my Instagram or in any other platform. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aya. Thank you so much, Dr. Talk, and everyone here with us.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.